So in the second part of our materials video, we're going to look at the Mental Ray Arch and Design materials. I actually prefer using these materials when rendering with Mental Ray. They just look a lot nicer than the ones that import from Revit. So I hit M to get my material editor up. And the architectural material is the one we were working with in the previous video. So I'm clicking on that button. And once I click on there, that just gives me a list in my map browser here of all the different material types I could use. There's a lot of Mental Ray specific materials in here. I'm going to use the Arch and Design material. So I can double click on there. And then now notice there's a bunch of templates built into these types of materials and a lot of settings. So under templates here, I'm going to end up using the rough concrete template to put on that column. But as you look through this list, you can see there's all kinds of materials in there, metals and glass and all kinds of things. I'm using rough concrete in this instance. And I want to see that and preview it in my viewport, so I'm going to hit the preview button there. Not looking too good just yet, so it looks like I have to work with the tile settings, change the size like I had done previously. So these materials look a little different, work a little different than the other ones. Under my parameters here, I have a diffuse color map just like before, so I clicked on that little gray box that said M. So I can get to the same settings as before, so I can go back there. So this is the JPEG here for this concrete I'm going to use, this material. Notice there's two different types of materials we're using here. This first one, I'm going to click there, and just like before, I can preview it. I'm going to preview it, it's starting to look more realistic here. As I had done in the last video, I'm going to use the real world scale. So I click on that button there. And under size here, I know this concrete works well at a width of 6 foot and a height of 6 foot. So that fits that concrete map pretty well on my column there. I'm going to zoom in a little closer to see how that looks. You don't really know until you do your final render. And then click on that little black arrow. Notice underneath it there's a noise map also in here. There's a lot of settings there that actually gives us a texture, a random noise texture. So both of those are in effect on this particular Arch and Design material. And as we look at all the other settings in here, we can change reflection settings, translucency, a lot of advanced settings in this particular type of material. Also things like self-illumination. You can make a material glow by setting them there. Under special effects, we've got built-in ambient occlusion. You can round corners of objects that have sharp edges. There's also bump maps. This particular one has a JPEG there for a bump map. So these Arch and Design materials are very advanced and really offer you the best settings to use, particularly since we're using Mental Ray here.